Fire in the hole! Let's cook some ribs! Hey, while we're looking at the fire, let me show you what I got going on here. I've got my charcoal set up in the snake method, also known as the fuse method. We're going to light one end of this fuse, and that's going to give us a long, low and slow for our rib cook today. So stay tuned and I'll show you how we prep up these ribs. Hello and welcome once again to my backyard barbecue grill. What we're doing today is something a little bit different from what we usually do. I've got a rack of baby back ribs right here. We're going to remove the membrane from the bone side of the rib. I've already got it started to make it easier for me so that you don't have to see me struggling. See, there it goes. It's easy once you get it started. Get it off there. Got a little bit left, but I'm not going to worry with it because we're going to be cutting these ribs up into pieces. I've got a knife here. I'm going to cut, these are baby backs, they're real meaty, so I'm going to cut one bone sections of these baby back ribs up like this. Cut them apart. Easier said than done, huh? Anyway, yeah, that's the theory. Well, let me get these cut apart and get them in a bowl and I'll show you what we're all about. Alright, I've got my ribs cut up into like 2 bone sections like that. We could pull that off of there. That's a piece of membrane. We don't need that. Throw that away. We're going to douse them with some Sang stir-fry oil. You know about Sang stir-fry oil. It's got that beautiful garlic flavor. We're going to wet them all up with Sang stir-fry oil. Like this. Got a brand new bottle, and sometimes it's a little hard for the oil to come out when you got a brand new bottle, but I'm getting it done. Getting some Sangs on them ribs. Get that in there. Get them mixed up so that they all get covered with Sang stir-fry oil. Like that. Then I've got some Uncle Steve's shake. Let me just wipe my hand off a little bit. Got oil all over my hand. All over my glove. Uncle Steve's original shake. It's a nice barbecue seasoning. We're going to put that on the ribs. We're going to liberally sprinkle that onto our ribs like that. That's quite a bit of seasoning right there, but I'm going to mix that all together so that they all get coated with Uncle Steve's original shake. Some good stuff right there. Uncle Steve's. Craig sent me that. My buddy Craig. I've had it before. It's good stuff. We're going to put that all over those ribs. Then I've got 5 yellow onions that I cut up last night to put on there. And we're going to put that all in that bowl and get that all, I got to mix that all together. Here goes some onions on the ground. Got to get these ribs covered in these onions like this. This whole 5 yellow onions, that's a lot of onions. Yeah, baby. It's a lot of onions. It smells good though. And I've got 10 cloves of garlic that I cut up. I'm going to put that on there too. Boy, does that smell good. That nothing like the smell of fresh cut garlic. Oh boy. Yeah, we're just gonna let that sit a while. Let that marinate. And then we'll get the fire started. And we'll get these ribs on the fire. I'll show you what we're going to do. It's going to be really cool. So stay tuned. All right, my ribs have been marinating in that onion and garlic mixture with the Uncle Steve's shake on them. And I got a little sheet pan here. And what I'm going to do is take some of that Sang stir-fry oil and put it on the sheet pan. I'm going to take a paper towel and spread that. I should have brought my thing out here, but I didn't. My brush. Anyway, we just want to kind of grease that pan a little bit with that Sang stir-fry oil, because the next thing we're going to do is we got a head of red cabbage here, and I'm going to start peeling some cabbage off there and laying it on that sheet pan. like this. Get some of that cabbage peeled off of there. I want to get a good layer of cabbage on there. Not sure how this is going to work out, but I think it'll be okay. Get my cabbage on there. I love cabbage. I love red cabbage especially, but I love all cabbage. Cabbage is my favorite vegetable. If I could be said to have a favorite vegetable, cabbage is it. Let's get that on there. We want to get this thing covered in cabbage. Some more cabbage on here. My cabbage is not cooperating. I need the sheets to be, I need the leaves to be whole. I don't want to break them. Come on, cabbage. Need some more cabbage. Yeah, that'll work, I guess. We'll piece it together. We want this covered in cabbage. If necessary, we'll go 2 sheets deep if we have to. But we want some cabbage on there because this is all going to become part of the meal. You'll see. You just stick with me and you'll start to understand what I'm doing here. So we got the cabbage on there. Now what we're going to do, let's get our ribs back over here. We got our ribs. We're going to put our ribs on top of that cabbage like this. I'm going to lay them out on top of the sheet pan. I hope there's room for them here. I've got them all like willy-nilly. They're all, some are up and some are down. So I hope they all fit on here. This is a small sheet pan. I wanted a small sheet pan so it would fit on the grill. Very important that it would fit on the grill. And we want all those onions on there too. Got to get all those onions on there. We got all these pieces of rib on there. And then we got to get all the onions packed up on there. Like that. And we got that Uncle Steve shake on there. And that garlic. And the Sang stir fry oil, which is making an incredible smell in here. But I think that's about it right there. I think that's about all I'm going to get crammed on there. We're going to light the fire and get this on the grill and get it cooking. So stay tuned. Alright, the fire's been started. The tray of ribs is on the fire opposite the hot coals. We can turn it as we want to as it burns down. We're going to put the cover on it and just forget about it. Just let it go low and slow. I don't expect the temperature to get much above 250 degrees. And we'll come back in about an hour and check on it and see what we got. And then after a while, we'll flip it around for even cooking. And then eventually we're going to sauce these. And then we're going to eat them and serve them. So stay tuned. Using the snake method of charcoal management really pays off. The temperature has been no higher than 250 this whole time. And it's been about 2 hours. Let's take the lid off and take a look at our ribs. So let's see what's going on under here. Oh boy. Looking pretty good. I'm not sure when I'm going to pull these. I'm going to let them cook until they get to the 4-hour mark, but they're looking pretty darn good. Let's see what the temp is. They're temping at about 130. They're probing tender, but I don't think they're done. Not by a long shot. I think they got a long way to go. I think they got to cook a little bit more. Let's take a look at them. Oh yeah, let's back out of that. Those onions are getting cooked up nicely, and the cabbage underneath. It's going to make like a full veggie meal with these ribs. It's going to be awesome. I'm gonna sauce these somehow. I'm not sure how. The charcoal's burnt down about 1/4 of the way, so we got more time to go. Just going to let them cook. Just let them go for another 2 hours and see how tender they get. So stay tuned. The ribs have been on the fire for about 4 hours, and they're starting to probe tender, and the temperature's right. They don't have much of a pullback on the bone. I'm going to sauce them with some of this, hard to see, apple cinnamon sauce that I got at Pepper Palace. I really like this stuff. So I'm just going to pour it on there. Brush it out evenly on the ribs. I think the apple cinnamon flavor will go well with the onions and cabbage. Let me get a brush. Give them a brush with some apple cinnamon. Sounds good to me. We're just gonna let these cook for another half hour and let that sauce set up on there. And then we're gonna take a taste and drink a beer. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Doesn't look too bad. You didn't get much pullback on the bone, but otherwise, I'm gonna say this was a success. Okay, so it's time to take a taste, drink a beer. Stay tuned. All right, my ribs are done. There's the Frosty Root Boy mug. Here's today's beer, Narragansett Lager. Made on honor, sold on merit. Lager. That's 1 pint. I can't read it. I think it's 4.8%. It's famous Narragansett Lager. That's all you need to know. It's good stuff. Let's pour it out. Try not to botch the pour like I usually do. Let me tilt my glass and carefully pour some Narragansett Lager, and it's very pale lager, I'll tell you. Usually lager's not that pale. It's almost like a pale ale. Let's get a little head on it. Why not? Yeah, there you go. How's that look, Rob? Not too bad, not too shabby. I did it live, so you couldn't accuse me of cheating. Anyway, yeah, so let's take a sniff of that. Smells great. Narragansett Lager. Let's quaff the froth off it. Rob, what do you think? Very good, very delicious. Let's get a taste of these ribs. Now, let me tell you, cooking them this way is kind of weird, and you don't get much pullback on the bone because they're sitting in that pan. But you know what the plus side of this is? I'm gonna cut me a rib here. The plus side of this is you got a whole bowl of veggies that you can use as a side dish. And look at the smoke ring on that. Can you see that? Can you see that beautiful smoke ring? It really picked up the smoke. I love these onions too. So let's see how we did. Let's get a taste of that. Really good. Not falling off the bone, but a good chew, good bite. That sauce is tangy. Yeah. So I don't know. Is this going to replace the regular way of making ribs? I doubt it. But we had to try. We had to give it a shot. Whoop! There goes that one. The dog's going to get it. I got to pick it up before the dog gets it. Hey, babies. You know what I always say? If you like this crap, please subscribe. If you don't, go see my buddy Rob, the barbecue pit dog. He'll be making new videos soon, I bet you. And yeah, come back next week. We may not cook anything good, but we will drink a beer. All right, babies. Thank you for watching. Bye.